Welcome to the present. Mr. Foster, how we doing this morning, this Friday?
Well, doing well, doing very well. Thank God. Anticipating, the weekend to
Okay.
usher ourselves into the weekend with some, good spirits.
So before we actually go into the preview, we're going to discuss the preview of the Arsenal versus Aston Villa at the Emirates. Should be a very interesting game. Maybe we'll take some time and look at the Man City against Luton, then Liverpool against Crystal Palace. So before we get into the nitty gritty of that, how did you enjoy yesterday's match? Because I was just browsing through, and then I saw our friends, the Liverpools, were actually playing at home. At home, emphasis on Anfield against Atlanta. Oh,
European
Moriapo,
heritage.
European heritage. As in,
European heritage in the mud.
this heritage went to hell. The heritage went to
You understand?
hell.
I don't. You know, sometimes when we are talking about this, today I was listening to FTV. This guy James was waffling nonsense about why we are not doing well in Europe.
Hmm.
I just didn't have any report to because I had not thought about it. But Liverpool, it's so funny that their fans. Oh, see, Liverpool fans are. I don't know. They're like somebody with two faces. They will talk here when it's going well. You will tell them that this is their problem. They will be insulting you, telling you that we should go out there, that we are butlers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
This
We
is the
take
same Liverpool that have been struggling mentally. They have been struggling to win matches. We will see them because they have the quality and teams don't put them to the sword.
yeah.
Everybody will be like, oh, it's Liverpool, it's champions mentality. Even if you don't play
It's
well,
meant.
you win.
You don't understand. We have to
They will
give
have, they
them
have been
their.
talking.
No, Mr. Foster. Please be respectful to Liverpool. They are the mentality monsters. Have you forgotten that?
Man, monster my ass. Man, where did the monster go to? They felt the monster go yesterday. He drank it.
Because
Mentality
yesterday,
monsters, they have been getting away with this.
sure, 100%. They've getting away with it. And yesterday, they
You
were
remember the
beating.
Emirates, right? We should have beaten in that FA Cup. These guys
Yeah,
should have been loaded 4 or 5.
sure.
Of course. And this is what I have this theory. If they didn't water their pitch the way they did when they played against us, we would have beaten them comprehensively too at their home ground last year. But they watered their pitch in the league this season when we played them in that first leg 1-1.
First
It's
leg,
not
the
a
Premier
lie.
League.
Everybody saw it. They watered and they were hoping on Trent to just send it forward to do
To
missile.
Salah.
Nobody. Salah, we are seeing Salah gradually finishing. You understand? We've been
No.
saying
It's
it.
it. No,
Liverpool's
no. It's
attack
it. No,
is
no.
not
I
that
disagree.
attack.
I disagree. I think Salah is a spring chicken. He's still like 4, 5 years in him. Come on, he's a world class player. Come on. No,
For
before the
five
thing
years,
we are jealous. Yeah,
bro,
come on, man.
I
Because
have a higher chance of becoming a professional footballer than Salah having 4 or 5 years at EPL.
because I was hearing some very funny takes. I need to be very smart how I'm going to put this. I respect religion and I respect our Muslim brothers and sisters. Well, people were saying, oh, maybe because it's fasting and this and that. I'm like, come on, let's not introduce that. Let's leave that aside. Salah is in a sharp decline. Like every player comes to
No,
the twilight of their career. So please,
bro,
come
I
on.
don't think that's a what do they call it? A reason because they've been celebrating since Wednesday.
So
You
no, I'm
understand?
saying
So
that's it.
the
I'm hearing
thing
some
officially
waffles.
the
I'll
fasting
hear some waffles.
the
Exactly.
fasting ended
So
on Wednesday. I think yesterday was a celebratory one. But still on still, well, this is what we are talking about. If Salah doesn't score, doesn't another person turn up?
no,
We are
nobody can turn up.
gradually overlooking the fact that Darwin Nunes might be moving like a fraud. Your
No,
might be looking.
no. It's not might. The fraudulent signs are very apparent. Let's call it for what it is. The fraudulent
Bro,
signs are very apparent. So, if Salah doesn't pop up with
when my guy
the
told me, you know that,
moment of brilliance, and Endo doesn't score a
exactly,
screamer, or Makata doesn't score a screamer, like how many screamers,
or
how
supposed
many
to
moments
lie.
of brilliance have built them out this season? Let's be fair. How many moments of brilliance have built them out? It's not sustainable. We called it from the beginning. Oh, they said we are jealous. We are just being overly hyperbolic with Arsenal fans. No, you cannot win a league
That,
on
yeah,
moments of brilliance all the time. Come on. No. On vibes. You're winning on
yeah. I
vibes.
remember
Vibes not
the way
sustainable.
one Liverpool guy, or something, was saying, "Oh, when I think when we lost to Liverpool in the FA Cup, I remember the clown said he believes that Arsenal competing for the league last season was a flash in the pan. You
Hmm.
understand? When he
Okay.
said all that, I was now wondering, we flash in the pan. Now look at us now. How many? Another of his guys that wears glasses and has, I don't know if he's an Indian person who lives in the UK or maybe of Indian descent, was like, no, we're not allowed to say it. Was like mocking us now. Now look at it. We've been saying it before. We've been better than Liverpool defensively,
Sure.
midfield wise, and attack wise. They made
Objectively.
us believe that Liverpool had a better attack than our own.
Yeah. Which is a lie.
I keep saying it. The only see, exactly now small Nunes used to better pass in KTR. I will
In
not
case,
change
yeah.
my mind on that one.
Just a bit of a height
Now
and
small.
complexion.
If in
Yeah,
KTR
height
was
and complexion.
yeah, and run and maybe just dribble and this. But other
Yeah,
than that, man, if Nketiah was playing for that team, he will still score more goals because he doesn't need to be carrying the ball and dribbling. They will just give him the
exactly.
ball, he will just move and shoot. But every time they made us feel, oh, they have this one. They have how many percent of Liverpool's goals depend on Salah?
Over 50%.
So this
Over
their
50%.
opinion. You understand? So they are European heritage. Man, European heritage in the mud. They were exposed for the team that they are. You
Yeah.
understand? They'll still expose them again.
So before we just spend a few more minutes before we move on to better topics, not better topic, more important topic. That would be the right choice of words to use. So, do you think Liverpool can rescue this when they go to Italy next week? Because
It's
I'm
not
hearing some
happening.
people, I'm hearing some people saying that.
Bro,
Oh, I'm like,
I'm
come
not even
on,
giving it I'm not giving
a
it a
thought.
modicum of thought.
It
Understand?
doesn't
It
make
is
sense.
gone.
Yeah,
It is, so let them just
it's
let it
done.
be. You
Yeah,
understand? All of them were oh, this is only Atlanta. Now don't get me wrong. I know we say all these things about teams playing in the Serie A.
yeah,
Not in my wildest, no matter how bad, not in my wildest expectations did I think Liverpool would lose and lose. What
that
do
well.
they call it?
They
Like
lost well.
that. This was they were comprehensively beaten. You
Yeah,
understand? So you can attribute it to a bad day at the office, but I will still go with my suggestion that bad day at the office. We've been seeing the signs that they have been escaping bad days at the
they
office.
are the
You
office. Yeah,
understand? So they were properly marshaled and tactically studied, and we can see that okay, that was what happened, and I don't see them rescuing it because even if they want to go with all the inspiration in the world, all those people need to do is just sit back and counter.
thank you.
That's what I'm
Like
just saying.
the
They
major
sit
part that we are
back, they
forgetting that
counter.
we are forgetting part that the few marquee defenders for Atlanta didn't even play that game. If you were a
Really?
regular starter, yeah, didn't start that game. So what chance? I'm sorry. What
Wow.
chance? You're going to go to Atlanta and beat them, and you score without them not responding. Stop it. I understand it's not impossible, but sometimes there are some missions that are very
Yeah.
impossible.
The
This
chances
mission
are
is
very slim.
this team died. This team has
Yeah.
died. This team has died. No, I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You're
You
not going to
understand?
Atlanta and beating them. No, it's not going to happen. Sorry. Anybody that watched the game saw that it was not a smash and grab. It's not that if we can say bad year at the office. I don't think so. Because they were say bad at the office when you have more chances, you're getting more chances, they have one chance and they score. Like say Atlanta had
Yeah,
a
it's
few
just like
more
when we
precious
played West Ham.
chances. They,
Yeah.
they should have scored up to 4-5 yesterday. So I'm not sorry. I'm sorry. Nah, nah, nah. No chance. No chance. It's not going to happen. Bid it a goodbye and concentrate on the league. It is not going to happen. Absolute nonsense. So let's move to the next topic. Aston Villa come to the Emirates. I've been seeing some people saying, no, last week it was Brighton can do something. No, we'll go to Brighton can do something against us. Now it's Aston Villa. Remember they told us on paper we had the harder. No, they said we had the harder fixtures. Remember they told Arsenal had the hardest fixtures. Arsenal have to still go to Spurs, Man U, Brighton, Aston Villa is coming. Well, but the first thing to blink last week was Liverpool against that wretched, dusty, to borrow that term, Man U. Liverpool couldn't beat them. That dusty team, that team that is on the floor, Mike could have beat them.
Yeah.
They told us we can't negotiate Europe and league together, that we don't have the experience. We've not done it consistently. And they were comprehensively beating Atlanta yesterday. And yet, they've changed narrative today that, they'll beat Crystal Palace to bounce back, but Arsenal will lose to Aston Villa. Maybe you can make it make sense to me. Help me.
Well, I believe a lot of people just want to support their clubs and are just being stupid. There is nothing to bounce back. If you like bounce back, it ain't changing. It's not changing anything. Let's stop
Sure.
deceiving ourselves with this bounce back ability. Bounce back. If you see, if they do it, bounce back and qualify for this stage. Fine, all well and good. I will give you your what do they call it, your kudos.
So you applaud it.
But you're
Yeah.
not playing. Yeah, you're not playing a what do they call this? A Crystal Palace twice. You're playing Atalanta and Crystal Palace. Now, do I look at Crystal Palace and think Crystal Palace have a chance? No, because they will be wasteful with their chances. Now, we are still forgetting. We've seen Liverpool play. Liverpool are that kind of team where they can make unnecessary problems for themselves.
No, they
Look
leave the
at the
door
way
open.
they play. Yeah. Look at
They
it
leave
when
the door
even
open.
Luton went there and Luton scored. It's just that
Yeah.
Luton wasn't that team. If
They don't,
not,
they,
you could
they
say
don't have the quality to maintain a certain level
exactly.
that can actually curtail Liverpool. They don't have the quality,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
So when everybody's like, oh, Liverpool will bounce back. Look, they can bounce back against Crystal Palace. It's Crystal Palace, so to an extent, I do expect that. But to see Arsenal will lose, especially when we are at home,
Yeah,
when people forget this Aston Villa, all they are doing is hoping that Aston Villa does something so that they can,
exactly.
have a chance. I'm not looking at us losing to Aston Villa. You understand me? I'm looking at Aston Villa as that fragile team. I think we will press the living hell out of Aston Villa. I honestly do. And I don't know who or how they are going to play or who they are playing or who they are going to bring on the pitch that day. I only know maybe the danger guy might be Oli
Or the Watkins.
Watkins. We
Yeah.
also still have to remember, yeah, we also still have to remember maybe Diaby on the other wing because of his pace per se. But
And
I'm
Bailey.
not all Leon Bailey. Yeah,
Yeah.
any one of them. So I'm not really thinking about it too much. As much quality as they have, we have more. And we are definitely going to start. I sent you a tweet about how the athletic, what do they call it? They
Correspondent.
interviewed managers.
Okay.
Yes, they interviewed managers on how it felt facing Arsenal. And you can hear a manager talking about how he felt facing Arsenal. So I know one thing, Emery will want to be over tactical in this particular game. They might want to play. One thing they will definitely want to do is their high line offside trap,
Sure.
which I think we will be prepared for. So I'm looking at us doing a wonderful job at the Emirates. We know what's at stake. The players know, and we have a certain sense of, would I say, adaptation and calmness, where we know we are just supposed to calm the game down and just keep moving. You understand? So
Yeah.
I don't think Aston Villa have the quality to do what Bayern did to us. You understand me? And even in that game where Bayern did what they did was because unfortunately we gave them chances. We gave the ball away in some places and we could personnel couldn't recover enough to win the ball back. So it's understandable. So I'm not looking at us thinking I'm scared. Nah. Aston Villa, we've seen them upon how they've been talking about the yo-yo team at the end of the day. So I'm not scared. That's scared.
That's why I put this still image on the screen because when I talk about Aston Villa, I don't understand why when Aston Villa is about to play, they overhype their relevance. Like you
Yeah.
said, they're yo-yo team. One
This
win
was the
in
same
the
team
last
that couldn't
five.
beat Brentford. They
Exactly.
were losing,
One
they were
win.
winning 2-0 against Brentford.
Yeah.
And Brentford came back to be leading them 3-2.
And they drew
So
and the game ended 3-3.
3-3. So I don't look
Yeah.
at us and think, okay, fine, we'll allow them. And secondly, if we are leading 2-0 against these
It's
guys,
done.
they're not
It's
coming back.
done. It's done. So look at the still image on the screen. We've won 4 out of our last 5. We won draw. They have lost 2, drawn 2, and 1 win in their last 5. They actually
Yeah,
relinquished they were topping ahead of Spurs. Now they're now fifth. From they were fourth before, they're now fifth. I look at they've played 32 games, 18 wins, which is fair for the club of that size. 6
yeah.
draws and 8 losses. They have 60 points, 17 goal difference. Look at Arsenal played 31 games, 22 wins, 5 draws and 4 losses, 71 points, 51 goal difference. So I understand we had a disappointing draw in the Champions League against Bayern Munich, but this is the Premier League. I'm going to switch back to our Premier League mode. I'm going to do what we do
Yeah,
best:
yeah,
stifle
of
teams,
course.
press. We have the personnel. No injuries reported at the moment, so I don't see the hula baloo about Aston Villa can do something. Yeah, they can do something. They can come and lose. That's the only thing I think they can
No, of
do.
course,
So I
of
don't see
course.
them causing us an upset. They had to huff and puff in the beginning. Their best midfielder is missing. Is suspended for this game. Douglas Luiz. We know Maggie will be
And
huffing
even
and
their
puffing.
second midfielder, that Kamara,
Yeah.
I think they say he has an injury.
So
So
it's not looking
should be
bright for them.
Tielemans and McCain.
Exactly. Now
So,
I
and
understand
I
they
know,
have a decent attack in Ollie Watkins, but
yeah.
against Gabriel and Saliba, which some people are beginning to try throw some kind of shade on or their performance against Bayern. I don't see why
See,
people are
bro,
just
even
finding a
the
way.
performance, what
Yeah,
performance against Bayern are they talking about?
exactly. What
You understand? They were still very good.
they're still very,
You
very good.
understand me? They were still
Yeah,
very, very good. Sometimes we say people forget how we defend, right?
yeah,
When people talk about that performance, when you want to say a defender couldn't cover some things, we forget that defenders are playing with midfielders. You understand? Or with
sure.
fullbacks also. So in that particular game, it was more or less like playing with 3 men in defense whenever they had counters coming their way. I don't know if you understand. And we also had some moments where we are talking noticeably about Jakob Kiwior, where he had those moments of pace. And I think if he had known, he would have tackled Leroy Sané and brought him down so that he wouldn't allow him proceed into the box. So, but those particular moments, you have to understand that defenders were left on their own. You had Jorginho who didn't have the pace in some moments to still help them. So these things they come with context when you watch the game, not just
But
by
you
stats
don't
alone.
expect rival fans to give you that proper context or nuances that are laid in this kind of conversation, which I get it. So it's for us to correct it and talk to some of our fans who sometimes might be caught in the bullshit of these conversations. Now, let's talk about Jakob Kivior. I've had my say. I've had somebody come in my comment section telling me, oh, I'm not the manager. I've never claimed to be the manager. Sometimes the responses of some of these people are just very, very childish. I'm
Yeah.
putting my opinion there that Jakob Kivior is not a left back. Everybody that has a
It's clear
decent
for
eye,
everybody.
a modicum of a
Yeah.
brain, a cell of a brain can tell that is a left center back that is doing a job as a left back, but against tricky and quick wingers, he will
Risky
struggle.
wingers.
He will
Yeah.
struggle. Like, let's stop it. On the flip side, we overly criticize Zinchenko. Nobody's saying Zinchenko is a world beater, but can he do a better job as a left back than Kivior?
Yeah.
Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. Sometimes I need to
Bro, we
question
forget that
the
Zinchenko
prince.
has played in high pressure games.
Exactly.
We still forget. Real Madrid last season, was it or 2 seasons ago? Zinchenko was their left back, starting left back in that particular game that they lost. It wasn't Zinchenko's fault. They had so many chances that they didn't convert.
Converse, yeah.
So when we talk about these things, we'll talk, oh, because you look at someone like Timber and you now want to just discard Zinchenko. See, Zinchenko is a very, very important player. Very important.
Sure.
So I don't see this idea where people want to discard him just because he is they feel okay, fine. And defensively, he may not be good. I won't even say good. He may not be the very best, but
He's not the very best.
he's not
Nobody's
horrible.
arguing that. He's not horrible. He's not like nobody's arguing that he's not horrible. He can do a job. So, what kind of changes do you expect against Aston Villa? Because I don't expect Mikel Arteta to continue this experiment with saying he's not working with Kivio as a left back. Zini is available. Tomiyasu, why is Tomiyasu not
I,
being played?
I don't I would love to see Tomiyasu this weekend. You understand?
Yeah,
The reason why I would love to see Tomiyasu is I don't know. Maybe what I reckon Arteta has some other, maybe he feels in some when we go into the period of away games, Tomiyasu will be needed more and he can do. That's what I just feel.
but he needs game sharpness.
So, but yeah. But I think I'm thinking of Aston Villa, right? Would you play him against Aston Villa?
I will because he needs some sharpness. I'll play him at least an hour plus
Yeah,
or at least an hour because if
yeah.
he's fit, you need to play him right now because keeping forward, the season is winding down. We saw what Kivio suffered against Bayern. I don't expect to see Kivio again as a left back this season. Not as a left centre back, that's a different conversation. As a left back, I'm sorry, against teams that have quick winger, I don't see Kivio. Now, the fact that we're not punished against Man City, that's why Arteta had the audacity to try it against Bayern. Because in
Yeah,
Man City,
I
the
think
first 25 minutes, he
that
struggled.
was his thought process. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was his thought process. He didn't feel will be that disjointed in the way we will play
Yeah.
it. Like we're going to defend, we should be compact all the way. But that day, all those errors you don't account for really went again. Really, unfortunately,
You know my
exposed us.
complaint.
I guess.
I said it against Fulham. Since that Fulham game, you can't Arteta can't convince me. There's no tactical. He cannot convince me. Kivio is a left back. He is not. Can he
No,
do a
he's not.
job when everybody's injured? I will accept him if everybody's injured. But if I have options, I'm not accepting that.
Mm.
I'm not accepting that. So in the midfield, let's talk about Jorginho. Is it time for us to bring Bra Party? Even though when I saw Bra Party, athleticism was a little bit iffy. Age is catching up on Bra
Bro,
Party.
bro. Well,
Bra
I
Party.
will lie. When they're talking about Partey, because Partey's cameo, I don't know what happened. I didn't see Partey's cameo. So I
Okay.
just said, let me come back. I started seeing Partey is finished. Partey is finished. What was wrong with Partey? I think Partey is losing the ball. Say Partey cannot run again. I looked at it and thought, I don't really know because that was making me. I don't know whether I'm feeling skeptical for Tomiyasu too because he and Partey they played in that friendly behind closed doors that we lost 4-0 during international break.
Okay.
Then I'm now thinking maybe Arteta thought if Tomiyasu enter this match like this, they will kill. But to see Partey that day, I looked at it, I just want to feel like okay, maybe Partey needs to what are they calling? He needs some intense game time to be you because this season he hasn't played at all.
He hasn't
He
played
hasn't
much.
played at
Sure,
all.
hasn't played much yet.
So it's just the third game and he got injured. So it has been too long, in my opinion. It has been too long. I would love to see him. I don't think Arteta will take that chance.
No, if you're playing with Rice, I think you can mitigate the circumstance. We are playing Aston Villa. We are not playing Bayern. Now, no, I was saying before
Yeah.
Bayern that maybe I'll risk him, but thank God Arteta did not listen to me against Bayern because I didn't know his athleticism has gone
The extent.
has receded that much. I'm like,
Yeah.
He was running as if we know when you press rewind. Partey was running when like when you press rewind. I'm like, what? He's running. See, it's when you're running your brain, but your legs are not doing the same thing. I know what's going on here. So I'm like,
Yeah.
nah. Like Jorginho looked quicker than Partey. Like, imagine that Jorginho looking quicker than Partey. I'm like, nah, excuse me. No. So, like when we had the conversation behind the scenes, so I'm thinking maybe I'm in a rush. Let's calm down. Maybe he needs some game time to be sharp. He might not get back to the athleticism he
Yeah.
had a few years ago, but not as slow as what I saw. But what I saw in the cameo against
Yeah.
Bayern,
Bro,
it's scary.
sometimes don't you
It's
think
scary.
that yes, but don't you think the speed and intensity of that match was just too quick for him?
We're not playing Premiership. We're playing in the Champions League, which is slower, and against Bayern.
Yeah, bro.
What are you talking
But
about?
even yeah, but bro, even if you're playing quality, you understand? In some moments,
Yeah,
see that
but
day we had
that's
to
why I say
really look at
that's why you the caveat. If Jorginho is quicker than Partey,
yeah.
something has wrong. Something has gone wrong. Something has gone wrong. Something has gone wrong. I'm sorry. Something has gone wrong. So that I'm looking at it that let's wait. If you give me more game time, maybe it will come back to a certain level because
Mm.
please. Nah.
Yeah,
Partey, the
I do
passing is
think
still
he needs
there, the IQ is still there, but
yes, of course.
the legs have gone backwards. The legs have gone backwards. That's the scary part of it. The legs have gone backwards. That's why I'm like, what's going on here? Please. But we still need him. So let's see if he give him more game time. Maybe he can get back to a certain level that we expect of Partey. And Declan Rice, he had a bit of a pylon. I'm not saying he didn't make few mistakes in context against Bayern, but we still expect him to retain his shirt. The mistakes he made against Bayern were
Of course.
mistake you make at 24 as a DM, especially if you have not played in
Hmm.
the European stage, not in the Conference League, at the highest level, the summit, which is the Champions
Yeah.
League. That ball that he's supposed to wait and he tries to press forward, that shows his lack of experience, right?
Yeah.
That shows lack of
I
experience.
mean,
So it
it
will
will be
come.
reviewed. Yeah, it will be reviewed, and he will know about it. But even when people were
Yeah.
saying that, Rodri's first season at Man City, it was still Fernandinho that was playing.
Yeah.
You understand? So in some moments, even if Rice would have okay, some moments maybe Partey he and Partey will play together and all those things.
Yeah.
It doesn't have. It's not his fault, and Jorginho doesn't have the legs,
Yeah.
to mark. So that one is not even part of the equation at all. So that was also unfortunate on the day. So when people try to overplay it, and nah, I think sometimes even yes, he's very good defensively, but there's nobody that even Rodri. Okay, against Real Madrid, they conceded 3 goals. There were moments where Rodri has had positional and what do they call it? He has been lapsed positionally, and
Definitely.
just
We've seen
because,
a lot exactly.
yeah, but just because he is Rodri, nobody talks about it.
No,
So
exactly. So he gets that benefit of the doubt all the time. So I'm
mm,
not going to pile on him. It happens because that's why I always tell players, even though you have pace, everything is not about pace. Experience, positional awareness. That's what he lacked that day, and he showed that you can be quality, but sometimes a bit of experience is needed so you don't make the wrong decisions. So I expect a few changes. So
yeah.
in attack, Martinelli struggled against Bayern. Do you expect him to maintain his shirt or you won't trust her to start? What would be your preference?
I would love to say to what do they call it? To give trust at the start. But this game is I just feel it's screaming Martinelli. Because there will be
Okay.
moments you will need Martinelli. There will be some balls that will just need some rapid pace, somebody to run and scare another person. And Martinelli is that guy. I just feel this is his game. I don't know if you understand. So
Okay,
for
I feel
me,
you on that one. Yeah.
yeah. So for me, I would love to. I don't know if you understand me. I would love to. But on the other hand, even if they say now they want to give, because I still feel Jesus will be the one to start on that particular wing. You understand? Because
Over Kai. You want to play Jesus as a winger?
you want to play him as a striker in this game.
No, I'll bring Jesus on. I'll continue. We have to manage Jesus. He has been talking about this. persistent injury. You
Okay,
can see
yeah,
that
very
that's why it's being managed carefully. And we still need it in Champions League because we saw the difference he brought. That star dust he brought against Bayern. Without Jesus, we don't score that equalizer. Without
yeah,
Jesus.
that or even some goals again. That goal against Sevilla, he's quick
Yeah.
thinking and intelligent. Yeah, of course,
So
and he's
I'm
needed
looking
for
at
that competition.
exactly. So I'm looking at him
Yeah,
that we should
we
manage
need
him
to manage.
carefully. Not because I don't want to start him, but since you have been talking about those injuries, I think it's time for us to manage him carefully and be smart about how we play him. So for me, I will go with Kai. Kai had an indifferent game against Bayern. I don't know why. Maybe that there was something about that Bayern game that our players didn't have the best of game. So maybe we can have a bounce back and play Kai,
I think the only person that
Saka, and
even
other
tried,
players.
yeah, the only person that even tried, the two in our attack that really tried were Odegaard and Saka. They were still doing bits that day.
Beat
I just
exactly.
feel maybe as there was no space to run into,
So
because if it was Trossard playing with Kai when the game began,
yeah,
it would have been a little different because in some moments he will beat Kimmich and all. Yeah, but that day, and even Martinelli, I feel even if you can't beat the guy, like putting some dangerous crosses.
process.
You understand? Something maybe or if sometimes even beating the guy, it still means you have to go and try and finesse. Like finesse the ball a little bit, curl the ball. You understand? Learn to
Yeah,
score some spectacle because those spectacular goals are the moments that all those players we talk about have. It's just they just know how to score some spectacular goals, and that's just what it is. So when I look at it, I might still want to give Martinelli a chance. I might still want to because I just feel in this game it will scream for Martinelli in some moments. That doesn't mean we won't beat them, but I still feel it will scream for Martinelli.
so I'll go with Kai up front, Martinelli. I'll go with Saka, the Rai as the goalkeeper. Mitchell will be Rice. I'll start Partey Rice and Odegaard. The defense will be the usual suspect of Benin Blanco, Gabriel, Saliba. And in this game, if Tomiyasu is fit enough, I'll start Tomiyasu. If not fit enough, I'll go with Zini and I'll have Kivia on the bench. So that's what I'll go for
Yeah.
in this game. And I expect also actually conference dispatch of Aston Villa. Aston Villa should not be threatening us when we're in a title race. You huff and puff, they're a decent team, they're a yo team. Una Emery is a fraud in the league. As the cup manager, I give him explode it. But in the league is a fraud. So I'm not expecting so much challenges in this game, in my opinion.
Of course, I expect a lot. I expect us to win. You understand? I know I'm not looking at to me. I know I'm still using one eye to look at Bayern, but it's one game at a
Yeah,
time, according to how Mikel
yeah.
Arteta said it this afternoon. One game at a time.
Okay.
So for me, that's all I'm looking at. And I would love for us to actually, pile on the misery on these guys. We deserve it because we've really done. I can't deny this has been excellent from the team so far. The unbeaten run, it has been
Yeah.
excellent. So
Especially
I
in
know
the turn of the year.
it's tasking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's tasking. I will still implore them to still keep going. It's not easy, and especially after that game we drew. Because sometimes I do feel right when we draw some games, the way we are coming to play the EPL is as if we are possessed or we are very angry. You understand?
Which is fine. Which
Look
is
at
fine.
when we yeah, yeah. Look at when we lost to these guys. What are their names? Porto.
Yeah.
What Newcastle score? I'm not sure they ever bargained for it. You
Exactly.
understand?
That
That
what we
was
call a
what
proper bounce back.
yeah. So I think after that draw,
Yeah.
everybody knows what's at stake. You understand? So they would want to let everybody know. Nah, that was just a let off. You understand me? And I don't see, honestly, I'm not saying it here. I don't see the hype about that Allianz Arena. I don't know. Everybody is saying, oh, the atmosphere when they, I know those fans are not coming to come and play football.
On the
So
pitch.
it
Exactly.
doesn't mean they will not make noise, but I don't see the noise that people are,
Talking about.
yeah.
So give me your final prediction for the Arsenal versus Aston Villa, the Emirates. Your predictions.
I'm looking at a 4-0 win for Arsenal.
Yeah,
Or even I go
that,
4-1 even. 4-1 for Arsenal.
I'm going with 3-0 comprehensive win for Arsenal. I think we'll bounce back. I think we'll take it to the sword. I'm not going to be concerned with the waffles of the mainstream and narrative they are pushing. So let's look at our other title rivals and contenders that are actually in this with us. So Liverpool will be playing Crystal Palace at home at the Anfield, even though Anfield was desecrated yesterday. Are you expecting the proverbial bounce back from Liverpool against Crystal Palace? Are you confident of an emphatic bounce back?
I would say I am,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
But on the other hand, I remember last week when we watched Crystal Palace versus Manchester City. And
Yeah.
Crystal Palace, in some moments in that first half at 1-1, could have easily put Manchester City to the sword. And we are seeing someone like Olise come to play. So if Olise is coming to come and play, because Olise definitely adds a lot to the attack. So if
Sure,
you have Olise
definitely.
and Eze with our Egbon Mateta, yeah, I don't know how they will
Mateta.
do the
And your best
yeah.
friend, are you?
Now that guy is a fraud. That last week that guy
He's enjoying his family
guy
name
does
from
some
his
dumb
dad.
things. Yeah. So I'm expecting what do they call it? I'm expecting Liverpool to win. That doesn't mean I'm not looking at Liverpool and saying Liverpool can still draw or draw points because I see how,
Okay.
like we've been seeing how they've been playing. We've always been saying it. We've been saying how they always leave the door open to all
Mm-hmm.
these teams. So that's what I am looking at. You understand? And Crystal Palace, they showed some real danger against Manchester City. Now, I don't know
They
how
did.
they will approach this game. Maybe they might look at Atalanta and base something a bit. I'm not saying they have the quality of Atalanta, but they might base a bit to be able to say, okay, let us hurt them somehow. So it's very possible.
Yeah, I understand that Liverpool will going to come back like an angry animal who has escaped being extinguished and try and bounce back. They know it's
Yeah.
looking like the last hurrah is the title. I don't think you're gonna come back in the Europa League, so I think it's a title. They'll give it up. I just think it's a tricky game. It's not done and dusted. Liverpool have the quality, which we are not going to deny that they have better players, a better manager playing
Yes,
at home.
definitely.
They have series of advantages to actually put Crystal Palace to the sword. But like I said, I've been saying it for the last few weeks, maybe months. Liverpool and Man City leave the door open.
Months.
They leave the door open.
Months.
That's why I think Crystal Palace can do something. They can do something. If Eze
Definitely.
and only say on their A game and they start this match, it's not impossible. It is not impossible. Depending on
Definitely.
the personnel, Crystal Palace can put out if that their midfielder, what was his name? The Correa is back, that can give them some solidity. If Gay is back at the back, it's a
Yeah,
different ball game. It's a different ball game. This Liverpool
of
team,
course.
yes, they can be explosive. They are good. It depends on the dominance you get on the day. It's not consistent. Are you getting the good one or the horrible one? Is Salah fit enough? We know Salah is kind of declining, even though Liverpool
No,
fans will push back. Like, you don't know what you're going to get for Liverpool on the other side, even though we know they have the quality. I'm just saying it's not impossible that Crystal
one thing,
Palace can make something there.
of course, one thing with Darwin Nunes, whether you get the good or the horrible, there's still a chance he will miss the goals. So that is what is constant there. And that's the
Sure.
problem that Liverpool, in my opinion, are having. Sometimes I think Darwin Nunes is too anxious to want to, like, calm it down. You
But
understand?
unfortunately, that's who
So
he
I
is.
think that might be
I've seen it. I've seen enough of Downey. Sorry to interrupt you. I'm sorry about that. Because of the feedback a little
a
bit.
problem.
I've seen enough of Downey to say that that's who he is. That anxiety can work for him sometimes and can actually work the other way
Yeah,
sometimes. That is who he is. So
like this.
they have to find either they find a replacement or they manage him for who he is. He's not going to change. That's who he is. So
Yeah,
button,
because I
they
was
have
looking
to deal with it. Where that comes with
Yeah.
him.
Of course, my guy said it a certain time. He said every time he looked at Darwin Nunes at Benfica, most of the goals he scored, he always felt the goalkeepers could easily have done better. That in a
Yeah.
better league, goalkeepers would easily have saved those goals. So it looks like
We
it's
see
looking
all the
like it
time
now.
he's fluffing his lines. He doesn't have a clean strike on the ball. How many times you see Downey strike the
Yeah,
ball cleanly? He doesn't have a clean strike on the ball. And Liverpool fans, I understand sometimes he goes in, fine, but if it doesn't go in. Do not complain. It doesn't go in. You don't complain because you know that because it's like playing lottery.
yeah,
Sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some. So if you're thinking Downey is that guy that will
of
take you
course.
to Eldorado, you've lost your mind. There's a reason why Klopp is taking
Yeah,
a walk. He's taking a long walk because he can see.
because he knows it's another rebuilding project again.
I'm telling you, he can see the handwriting on the wall. He's not stupid. He's not stupid. He can see handwriting on the wall. So once Salah leaves, Salah that is declining, and you have to deal with Downey and inconsistent Luis Diaz. Come on, it's done. It's done. Let's call it for what
And
it
for
is.
the
It's
Gakpo,
done.
that
And that fraud. They have a lot of fraudulent players at Liverpool. And once the
yeah,
gas is off, once the hype is off, and they come back to the bed thread, it is what it is. So let's talk about Man City for a little bit before we round off this live stream. Man City against Luton. I'm expecting a whitewash,
yeah.
but looking at that team that will keep it
That's
tight a little bit.
of course,
But Man City
of course.
too, they
But we all
leave the
know at the
door
end of the day,
open.
yeah, it's going to be. Yeah,
It's gonna be what?
I just know Man City leave the door open, but I think the quality of the team is not enough for them to hurt them that much. That is just the thing. If they were not leaving the door, if it was a better team, I'd say,
Yeah,
yeah, that team has a small chance. You understand? But Manchester City and Luton. Look, I would love to see a surprise shock from
yeah,
Luton, but we all
yeah.
know realistically that is not happening. Manchester
So
City should
will
be
you
rushing
bet your
them.
house? Will you
They
bet your
might
house
use them.
will you bet your house 100% that Man City wins this game? Win the game against Luton, brother?
Yeah, I do. I will.
You will.
I will. Bro, I expect them to. I don't see.
No, 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 no,
I know
no.
they are chasing. In fact,
In
I even
reality,
expect, bro, in reality, and I even expect them to, increase goal difference a little bit. I'm telling you. Now, that doesn't mean it
how
will.
many clubs have scored plenty of goals against Luton? It's not. It hasn't happened. They don't allow it. You might beat them, but you're not going to be scoring droves of goals against them.
Yeah, I think it's still your brother now, Haaland and De Bruyne. De Bruyne has come
Yeah,
back. De
FA
Bruyne has
Cup,
come back. People are
FA
saying
Cup.
one match.
That
Is
that was the FA Cup,
FA
but that was
Cup.
the FA Cup. That's the FA
Yeah.
Cup. So
And as you
I don't know.
said, this
So
is also a league game where they will want to play and not be, what do they call, relegated.
they're
So
trying
you
to
never
survive.
really know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I expect Man City to win. I'm not stupid. I wasn't born stupid. I expect Man City to win. But I just think there's a little bit, there's a modicum of chance. There's that glitter of hope that, no, maybe, just maybe, just maybe. So maybe I'm hoping too much. Maybe the Arsenal in me is making me
Of
put my
course.
blinders on. So shout out to you, Mr. Fosa, for coming through for the stream. Let's run through
No
some of
problem.
the fixtures this weekend. Let's start with let me see. Let me go and fix it. We all run through
I
them
think
real quick.
Newcastle versus
Newcastle,
Tottenham.
yeah, what do you think? That's a decent match to watch out for the
Oh, I
neutrals.
would love, bro. That would be a classic because I'm seeing, some people be like, oh, Tottenham are going to beat Newcastle. I know that game is going to be end to end. We will
And
be entertained. This
10.
is the entertainment we were looking for.
Exactly.
So that is what it is.
So give me a scoreline.
For that game,
Yeah, Newcastle
I would go
scores.
with either a 4-3 or a 4-4.
I'm going with a 2-1 again for Newcastle against Spurs. Yeah, some of you will say, "Oh, he hates Spurs." Yeah, I do, but I can be objective. I just think at home, Newcastle have a way of getting rid of the
Yeah,
green.
that's
The referee somehow, we have seen too many times. Somehow they get rid of the green
yeah.
at home. So I'm going for a 2-1 victory for Spurs. Brentford against Sheffield United.
Brentford and Sheffield. Only God knows. I'm looking at a draw because Sheffield have been on some. They have been on
Renaissance.
some
They on some resurrection,
resurgence lately.
some resurrection power.
Yeah.
They're having some resurrection power.
I'm telling you, look at what happened to the Blue Rascals down the road now. They thought they had
Sure.
won the
I just think it's too late. These Renaissance and resurrection they have, I think it is a tad too late for them to make anything out of it. So, but I just think that
yeah.
they'll draw against Brentford. Brentford's form this year has been horrific. I don't know what has happened to Brentford, but a lot of draws. And I don't know, they're almost being drawn into the relegation battle. Now, let me look at the league real quick and see where Brentford are at the moment. They're 15th, right? 2 points. Sorry. Yeah,
Yeah.
2 points ahead of Everton in 16, and Everton are 2 points ahead of Nottingham Forest in 17, and Nottingham Forest have the same point as
I never
Luton
seen I've had
in
points.
18th. Exactly. So it's not looking good for Brentford. If they lose this match at home, hallelujah. I can say. So Burnley versus Brighton. You know, Burnley, the stubborn Vincent Company, who refused to cut his coat according to his pay grade, he wants to play expansive, entertaining football with Bournemouth players against Brighton. Brighton, another yo team. I'll go for a draw. I think Burnley at home can have a dissension against Brighton. They can win, but you
I
don't know
think
what
it will
Brighton
be
you get.
a scoreline. No,
Mm.
Brighton will win, right? But they will concede. That's what I just feel. They will win but concede.
So what's the score?
Me, I'm looking at
Yeah,
a 3-1 or 4-1. Okay, even
I'll
be
go
4-2
for.
even.
I'm going for a 2-2. I think Burnley will draw Brighton. I think Brighton are not convincing. On paper they should be beating Burnley, but I've seen enough of Brighton to know that they could be fraudulent and could be 4-1 all the time. So Man City against Luton, we've already done that.
Mm.
Expect a victory for Man City. Nottingham Forest against Wolves. Wolves another yo team. What are you saying about Wolves?
I don't know what to expect from Wolves. I love them, but I don't know what to expect. You understand?
So what are
So I
predictions?
can't really say because
What are you predicting?
in fact, let me just be at the middle. I'd love to say a draw because Wolves are
Mm.
that team where you expect them to win. They can be playing well, and all of a sudden they can just
They implode.
they will, or they may not even turn up well that day against Nottingham Forest. Yeah.
So I'll go for a draw too. I think Nottingham Forest, who they are fighting relegation, they'll put everything on the line. I think I'll go for Nottingham Forest win against Wolves. I think I'll
Yeah.
go for Nottingham Forest win. I'll go for a 3-1 victory against Wolves. Then Bournemouth against Manchester United. Then Strag. What do you think?
Uh that's a tough away game. Because those
Tough?
guys, we know
I'm
how they
sorry.
play.
I'm going for Bournemouth win over Manchester United. I've seen enough of Manchester United to
That's
tell
it.
you that they're not winning this game.
Hmm.
I'm sorry. They're winning this game, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't think they're winning this game. They can only turn up when they see Liverpool. When they
Hmm.
somehow when they see Liverpool, they want to play the game of their life at Old Trafford. When they see Liverpool at Old Trafford, they want to play the game of their life. But away at Bournemouth, I can only see one winner in Bournemouth against Manchester United. I'm going for a 3-1 victory for Bournemouth. What are your predictions for that?
Ah, uh, Bournemouth. I know
Yeah.
because they are at home. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking for a draw.
Okay. You're being diplomatic or being generous to Manchester
Hmm.
United. So Liverpool Crystal Palace.
We've already spoken about it. I still expect
So you
a
win.
Liverpool, like
You
maybe
win.
3-1.
So West Ham, Fulham, another decent game for the neutrals to enjoy.
West Ham, Fulham.
Yep,
I'm tipping Fulham for a draw.
I'm going for a West Ham win at home. I
West
think
Ham,
they will do it.
they
They
play,
won
yeah,
against
but they played yesterday.
Lille. I think they'll have a bit of momentum. Fulham for me, I allow you
Oh
your
no,
team. We
they
don't
played
know.
Leverkusen.
Oh,
They
sorry,
played
it was
Leverkusen.
so who played the Lille yesterday?
Aston Villa.
Sorry, Aston Villa. I'm mixing. I'm sorry about that. I'm mixing things up. So they
Yeah,
lost to Leverkusen yesterday. Each one they are traveling back.
yeah, and they were
Yeah. So
properly battered in that game.
yeah. So I'll go with Fulham win. I think Fulham will be able to beat them on Sunday. So that'll be all for the English Premier League this weekend. It should be an exciting weekend for all and sundry that love English football to enjoy. I expect that Arsenal to give us something to cheer about. So, guys, you're watching some
And the Blue
playback.
Rascals not playing.
I think they're playing on Monday. I think they're on
Wow.
Monday. They are playing on Monday. So we'll look at their game later tomorrow or Sunday after reviewing Arsenal's victory and other things. So look at their game. So, guys, you're watching the playback. Be kind enough to strike that like button. Consider subscribing. Yes, subscribe, and make sure you turn on your notification bell. Extremely, extremely important. Shout out to you, Mr. Efosa, for coming in at short notice. Your last words as we round off this preview show.
Oh yeah. EPL and Champions League in the bag. That's all I'm
That
gonna say.
that that's a confident
Understand?
one. Yeah, you're about to get people angry.
Bro, they can say we are bragging, but what do they expect me to do? I'll back my team.
There's backing your team, and there's being delusional. So some will say maybe you're a bit delusional.
Bro, we're not being delusional. One game at a time. You understand? One
Sure.
game at a time.
I like that. I like that. So, guys, that'll be all for now. If any breaking news emerges, see me doing a live stream or doing a pre-recorded video and dropping as quick as possible. Support the channel by striking the like button, consider subscribing, and make sure you turn on your notification bell. I will see you guys on the next one. Bye for now.